Hi guys, my name is Rohit and today I am here to discuss about a portfolio management, which is the most important, one of the, not only, one of the most important chapters in financial management. And the portfolio management, first of all, before going to be understanding about a portfolio, what is management, you need to be a understand about shares. Which is traded in the security market. We all know that when the company, any company, want to, need money, they're issuing the shares in the security market, and we purchasing the shares and paying the money. Indirectly, we are the owner of the company. We are the equity owner. So, suppose you have 1 lakh rupees and now you want to invest in one company. Now here there is a famous quote from Warren Buffett. He said that don't put all the eggs in one basket. That means don't put your all the money in a single company. It is very risky, as well as if the company is not perform well, then your entire money is gone. पूरा पैसा चला जाएगा. So that's why you need to diversifying your portfolio. For example, share A, B, C, D. Suppose there are 4 companies. So you need to be diversifying your fund to these 4 companies to eliminate or to reduce, not eliminate, because you cannot eliminate entire risk factors. You reduce much your risks through diversifications. Now these diversifications, this lots of shares, combination of shares is known as a portfolio management. Portfolio is nothing but the combination, and management means the management of shares. Here representing a management of shares. See, there is a different type of portfolio. There is a portfolio of one company's product, portfolio of one person's. It is similarly, it is a portfolio of a shares. So here, basically, we learn about the risk factors and also how to diversify the fund into the different shares, as well as how much amount invest in one shares. What is the weight? For example, here you see the only 4 shares, but practically there is a lots of shares. One portfolio consists 10 to 15 shares minimum. So now suppose what percentage of your total funds, for example 10% invest in company A, or whether 20% invest in company A, or whether 50% invest in a company A. So for that particular percentage, that is how much and where, to identifying these 2 questions, we need to be learn or go through the portfolio management. ठीक है. They providing they will learn here the particular percentage or weight, that is how much we invest in a particular one shares. Acha, next, meaning of portfolio. I told you about the meaning of portfolio. There is a 5 important factors. One is a security. Security related to the maintenance of a capital value. Return, we all know what is return. Return means the profit we earn through investing our fund. Growth prospect. What is the growth prospect of the companies? What is risk? Risk means the nothing but the uncertainty about the future. That is what are going on in the near future, because at the end of the 2019, or at the mid of 2019, no one knows about the COVID. The what drastical impact is have in the market for COVID. Okay. So that's why it is called a risk. One is a liquidity. Liquidity means how much quickly you sell your shares without a discount factors. For example, selling a house is far, most difficult in compared to selling a securities or shares, because shares is more liquid than the house. So that's why called a liquidity. If a particular things is not sell quickly as well as without giving any discount, mane, for example, the price of the house is 10 lakh and you need to give a 1 lakh discount to selling that house quickly. So that entire risk is called a liquidity risk. Here in securities, the liquidity risk is very much low in compared to fixed assets. Okay. Acha. Now, what is the concept of risks? As earlier I told you, there is a two type of risks. One is a systematic risk, another is a non-systematic risk or unsystematic risk. But there is a major two component in each risk. Okay. There is a two major components. What is the two components? One is a business risk, another is a financial risk. Business risk means the risk or ability to not completing successful with the asset that it purchased. That means they told that that in definition of business risk they told that the ability to complete the successfully with the asset that it purchased. By using the asset here, they're talking about a future earnings, future returns, future sales not completed by the companies. It is called a business risk. It is also including the operational risk. Business risk is majorly or nothing but the operational risk. Another risk is financial risk. Financial risk is referred to the market. Okay. Achha, there is a two parts. One is a systematic risk, another is a unsystematic risk. What is the systematic risk? Systematic risk is the risk that we cannot avoid. We are impacted by that particular risk even though we diversifying your fund. We using a portfolio, we diversifying our fund, but still we impact from that particular risk. What is unsystematic risk? Systematic risk is one is systematic risk is beta. Okay. Another is a unsystematic risk. Unsystematic risk means a risk that can be avoided or eliminated, whether or not partly or fully, but there is a chance to eliminate some percentage of risk through diversification of entire fund. So it is known as a unsystematic risks. The example of unsystematic risk is a standard deviation. Standard deviation. It is the sign of standard deviation. The standard deviation is also known as a unsystematic risk. Achha, standard deviation. What is a standard deviation? Standard deviation is the nothing but the measuring the volatility or measuring the risk of the particular security. Beta is also measuring the volatility or particular risks of the security. But standard deviation is also measuring the risks of a particular security. Achha. Now. Suppose what is the formula for expected return on a portfolio? So expected return from portfolio means just earlier I tell that the portfolio means that what the combination of two shares, combination of more than one share. So for example, in my example, suppose R1 is a one company shares and R2 is another company shares. So R1 is giving the return of 10%. And R2 is giving the return of 20%, and in our portfolio out of our total fund, that is for example here 1 lakh, 50%, that is 50,000 is invested in R1 and 50%, another 50% was invested in R2. So what is the total return of entire portfolio? So here if you notice that the R1 return is 10%, 10% for what? For entire fund in 1 year. But here we not used our entire fund, we used our 50% of the fund. So that's why our entire return is 5%. It is nothing but the weighted average cost of capital, what we earlier learned in a cost of capital chapter. That is the capital structure. So the main formula is R1 into W1. What weight it conduct in our total portfolio, and R2 into W2. So here they writing similarly, there is R1 into W1, R2 into W2. What in R2? We investing in the R2. It is the entire, I mean, here if you notice there is a 50% of 10% and 50% of 20%. 20% is the entire return of entire capital, but we only investing the 10%. Only investing 15%, sorry, only investing 15%. So our total return is 10%. So total portfolio return is 15%. Acha. Next is the riskiness of the portfolio. Riskiness of the portfolio is nothing but the standard deviations. Now it is a little bit complicated. The formula is little bit complicated, but in a practical scenario, there is a separate website or separate applications to calculate a standard deviation. So don't worry about that if you're going to in a practical life. So you need not to be calculate through pen, paper and calculator. There is a separate app that calculate for you. So here, what is the formula? Standard deviation, it is the sign of standard deviations, some kind of root. So standard deviation formula is standard deviation of A and B is equal to standard deviation of A square plus standard deviation of A square into WA square standard plus standard deviation of B square into WB square plus 2 into standard deviation A into standard deviation B into WA into WB into RAB and entire root. So here, what is the RAB means? RAB means that the coefficient correlations. Coefficient and correlations means the relationship between the two stocks. Whether it is there is a three type of correlation. Mainly one is a +1, another is a -1, another is a 0. So here, what is the coefficient and correlation? I am going to that after few minutes. First of all, what is the formula of RAB? RAB formula is the covariances. That is the AB divided by standard deviation of A into standard deviation of B. And what is the formula of COV-AB? COV-AB formula is deviation, standard summation of deviation of A into summation of deviation of B divided by N, that is the number of years. Or there is a one more formula which is probability, summation probability into division A into division B. Acha. Here, I don't think you need to be remembered in this formula because we don't have any sums based on the basis of on that particular formula. So just for a knowledge purpose or for future reference, if you find any sums relating to this, whether if you they say to calculate the standard deviation. So for future reference, I just give you a formula, and don't worry, I think they're providing a data. So you need to put the entire data in the formula and calculate the entire things. So now, what is the meaning of coefficient and correlation? Coefficient and correlations is between means relationship between the two shares or two stocks, how they performed if we take that particular two stocks in our portfolio in the same time. There is a three type of coefficient majorly. One is a +1, that is highest, that is called a positive correlations. Another is a negative correlation, that is the -1. Another is a 0, that is neutral. That means no relationship between the two stocks. Achha, now what is the relationship? What I try to say is that here I write that the positive means that is if the share price of one is go up, then another is also go up. Okay. It is for the portfolio perspective, and for your understanding perspective, it is the same as suppose if the petrol price is high, then if the petrol like petrol and car, that means that if the petrol is consumed, production of petrol or import of petrol is more, then the selling of car is more. There is a positive correlation or positive impact between the two. For example, like steel and car manufacturing. Suppose the manufacturing of car is increases, then the selling of steel, because steel is majorly used for manufacturing the body of car. So still selling of that particular steel is also be increases. So there is a positive correlations between these two. What is the negative correlations between the two? This the tea and coffee. Like there is a negative correlation. If the price of tea is increased, then the demand of coffee is also be, in a stock basis. If I told you in a stock basis, that is the if the tea price is increases, then the tea stock is going down, because and another way the coffee stock is go up. So there is a, there is a negative correlation. They performed opposite to each other. Okay, and here they perform in positive, they perform same to each other. If one increase, then another also increase. Here one, if one increase, another is a decrease, and another is a zero. Zero means, suppose the relationship between the gold and car, there is no relationship. So the correlation between these two is zero. Okay, acha. Now it is the fund of correlations. What is the correlations? Now here we come in capital asset pricing model, CAPM. We already doing a lots of time a CAPM model, that is risk-free securities is equal, plus risk-free RM minus RF into beta. It is the formula. So now see, there is a one illustration they given, that the beta of coefficient as a formula is here, RF plus beta into RM minus RF. RM minus RF we also call it as a risk premium, market risk premium. That is the premium that market given us to take in a excess risks. Okay. So the beta here, the one they given one sum, that is the beta of coefficient of the company is 1.4, and the company has a maintaining a 8% rate of growth in the dividend. Acha, beta 1.4, G 8%. The last dividend is 4. Return on the government security is 10%. Return on market is 15%. The current market price is 36. What will be the equilibrium price, and would you advise to purchasing the shares? So now they told that they're giving the information about the current market price of 36. So you need to be calculate the actual price. That is what should be the true price, fair value of that particular share. So for fair value, you will learn that the M is equal to D 1 plus G. Here I also write that the M is equal to D 1 plus G divided by K minus G. We did it in the past chapters. So here now the question is, what is K? How we get a KE? For KE we use a CAPM. For KE we using the CAPM, because D is given, G is given, and M we need to be calculate and then compare with the actual 36. We compare with the 36 to determine whether it is undervalued or whether it is overvalued. Undervalued and overvalued concept means that the undervalue means the current market price is lower than its actual price. मतलब fair value से कम है. So that's why it is called undervalued, and we need to all going for buying that particular stock. And overvalued means that is the current market price is very high in compared to fair value. So for CAPM, the 10% is a risk free, say 1.4 beta, 15 minus 10, that is given the 17%. And for calculating the market, there is a 17 minus 8. They actually doing from KE side, but it is a direct formula. You can go with the both of the any of the formula. Okay. So what is easy for you? So the price is 48. Now it is a fair value. The fair value of the stock is 48, but the actual market price is 36. That means the actual market price is lower than the fair value. That means undervalued shares. So we are definitely going for buying that particular shares. So it is the one form, one thing. Another is a capital market line. Achha, capital market line is just giving the Just like a dividend model, they're giving the 3 or 4 type of models. So here there is a different type of models. So here the capital price market line just give you the they given that there is a relationship between the risk and also the return. So for that particular proving that particular aspect, they given one formula. Actually, this formula is little bit. I mean, they giving in a little bit complex way. So it is a simplistic formula, same as CAPM, just modifying in the beta part. Here, if you notice that here is also RM minus RF, but instead of beta, there is a standard deviation of market. That is the risk of market. It is a risk of market divided by into multiplied by risk of shares or risk of portfolio. Okay, it is the formula. So here they are giving one sum. Sum is that the portfolio is XYZ. Portfolio X means in portfolio there is a lots of shares. Okay. So expected returns, that is the 22, 32, 21, and portfolio risk is 14, 12 and 6. So for that purpose, particular purpose, you need to be calculating the CAPM capital market line for each of these stocks. That is the RF is in each cases, in both the cases RF is 10%, RF is 10%, and in both the cases the RM minus RF, that means the market premium is the return is 17%, and the risk-free return is 10%. So 17 minus 10, 7. We don't do in this way. I mean, this is little bit easy, but it is a correct formula that I given to you. So the market risk, that is the 7%, that is 7. 7 multiplied by particular standard deviation of that shares. Standard deviation of shares or is one major standard deviation of 6. The expected return of market. It is divided by 6% and multiplied by portfolio risk here 14%. Multiplied by 14. Okay. So in this way we are doing the entire sums and then calculating the capital market line return. Here it is calculated 23%. Now actual return is 22%. So that is the as per capital market line, the return would be 23%, but the actual is 22%. That means lower than the fair. So that is that we call that the entire portfolio is managed in an inefficient manner. Another is a CML is 30%, but actual is 32%, which is very much good, which is more than the return providing more than your portfolio, which is efficient. Another same last was also efficient. Okay. Next, security market line. Security market line is nothing but there is a describing the relationship between the systematic risk and the return of well diversified investment portfolio. They just draw one graph. Here if you notice that the systematic risk, they are measuring in the x-axis and the return is measured in the y-axis. And here in red area, the red area is risk-free area. I mean, it is the minimum return what you get if you invest. Risk-free means nothing but the government bond return. Here the risk is 0. Okay, and the RM, that is the security market line, is excess return. That is called the risk premium. Bus. That's it. Okay. One disclaimer. That is the portfolio management is a very vast chapter. Okay, there is a lots of topic. I mean, it need almost if you're doing in a well manner, it need almost 10 class of 2 hours minimum. I mean 20 hours if you need, if you practicing the sums as well as you need to be understanding maximum 20 hours. It's not minimum. So I think you need a 2 hour 20 hours. So here we just what we do that what we just cover ऊपर से, ठीक है. We don't go to the any depth of the any topics. Just ऊपर से cover हुआ है. There is a lots of things. There is a formula for beta also. You need to be calculating the beta, how to calculate the beta. But unfortunately, in our syllabus, we only have that much of things. So I don't go beyond that particular, beyond our syllabus. So that's about it. And if you find to understand anything difficult, or if you don't understanding anything, so feel free to either WhatsApp or call me. So if you find it helpful, please share it with your friends and please subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day.